Hey, what's up you guys? It's me, Eclectic Witch, or Psychic-Medium Natasha, and I'm finally here to bring you guys another video, which is about witchcraft without tools. And I know you're like, without tools, but you need to keep in mind that witchcraft is not, like, tools don't make the witch. It's like, I feel like it's time for us to get back into the core, into our roots as witches, because I feel like there's so much emphasis on aesthetic and on tools that we're kind of forgetting, like I said, like our core, our roots, which is we don't need tools. They're great, they can help, but they're not necessary. And if you don't have access to tools, it shouldn't hinder or ruin or hurt your magic or spells or rituals in any way. You know what I'm saying? Like, what if you are out with a group of friends and you spontaneously feel drawn to do a ritual right then and there at the beach or the park or maybe even a parking lot, and you don't have your tools on you? Like, what do? You're not doomed. You can still do a full ritual, and I want to give you some tips on how you can still practice your spells and your rituals without needing to depend on tools. So whether this be a simple reminder or you actually learning, I hope you could benefit from this video. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that bell notification and subscribe. Let's get into this video. So first I want to talk about, what are some basic things that you can still practice witchcraft without necessarily having tools. Well, obviously the first thing I would say is, if you don't have physical tools to incorporate into your practice, like into your spell or whatever at that moment, then utilize what you do have around you, rather it be, the herbs of the land that, your local area, or maybe it may be just utilizing the time of day, like time correspondences, like the significance and it being daytime or daybreak or evening, or incorporating the specific meaning of the day that you're doing the working on. Like Friday works with Venus, I believe, and then the moon is Monday. So, like those small things, like, of course, I would say, like, if you don't have tools on you, just utilize what you do have access to at the time. Now, obviously, I want to get into not the so obvious answers. So I want to talk a bit about visualization first off, because it's, it's like a very low-key thing, but visualization is very important when you're manifesting anything, whether it be, for spells or rituals or just something like into your life or even a dream. And I want to really break down about visualization because I know some people have issues with this as well. So I want to break it down to 3 basic parts, which is about belief, desire, and of course visualization. So of course you need to have a strong belief when you are trying to visualize anything, because if you don't truly believe that it can happen or manifest or whatever, it's not going to. Now, if you don't fully believe in it, it's best to at least have an open mind or keep an open heart for the hopes it will, because if you're completely closed off from it, it's not only is it not going to manifest, you're blocking yourself. It's an energetic block in that way. Next is desire. Desire is very important when it comes to visualization, because not only do you need to believe it will happen or manifest, you need to have the desire or passion or emotional charge to have to amplify this belief so that it may manifest on its own. Now, of course, the last part is going to be about visualization. If you cannot keep what you want, what you desire within your mind's eye, you can't picture it in your mind, it's not going to manifest, because you have to, you have to have a strong mental picture of what that desire, that belief looks like for it to truly manifest. So you need to have that locked in. So visualization is very important when it comes to witchcraft, simply because, you by simply lighting a candle, or if you, like I said, if you don't have tools, you can raise energy, and use visualization together, and simply those 2 things alone can be your spell or be your ritual. Spells don't have to be elaborate. Spells don't have to be all complicated and whatnot. It's just, it has to work for you. And if you want to do a spell outside without no tools, just by simply raising energy and visualization, it can manifest. Don't let anybody tell you wrong. So now I want to talk about another important part, which is about how to raise energy without no tools. Because I know some people, they like to raise energy with like singing bowls or bells and, you know, different stuff. But what do you do when you don't, you know, like it's just you, like what do you do? So I'm going to mention like 2 things you can do to raise energy without nothing. So the first thing I want to mention is about dance. Okay, so dance, you know, has been used for so long, you know, since ancient times for rituals and spells and whatnot, for simply because when you are dancing and moving, you know logically that you are burning calories, but essentially you are raising energy, because all of that energy that you're releasing from just, you know, put it to use. Let that energy that you are dancing to be to raise energy, or let it alter your consciousness, or simply dance just to praise or give honor to deities or other spirits that you may be working with in your practice. Now, keep in mind, I'm not no dancer. I'm not going to lie about that. But I do like to use dance in my practice, because like you don't have to use no tools. It raises energy, the alter consciousness and honoring this and that and blah. But dance doesn't have to be choreographed. It doesn't have to be beautiful even. It's just, you're simply raising energy. You're connecting to yourself. You may be connecting to others. And plus, if there's many of you, like if you want to do like a little coven get together and do dancing to raise energy, like I've heard of covens doing the spiral dance. You hear it all the time, like in Wicca and in different books and stuff like that about the spiral dance of coven workings. But simply, you by yourself or with a group of people, you can raise energy or alter your consciousness or give praise and honor to deities and whatnot by simply dancing. Like, why not? So in that aspect of dancing, you as well can raise energy along with hand gestures, just by simply your hands. Now, I am not too familiar with this personally, just only because I don't use it as often as I should. I feel like I want to do it more in my practice, so I feel like it's worth mentioning for this video. So I will be reading about this to talk to you guys in my own grimoire, which is gestures right here. So if you see me reading off, it's because of that. But I feel like it's worth mentioning because it is another way. So, gesture of hands. Gestures are the silent counterparts to words, and gestures can enhance rituals when performed in conjunction with invocations or chanting, which is another way to raise energy, dance, which we already talked about, or it can be used alone, hand gestures, so you can really use the real power by themselves. Now, the magical significance of gestures is a bit complex, and it stems from, the power of the hand. Hands can kill, caress, stab, it's a channel through which, the energies are sent from our body or we may receive from others. Now, I'm going to get more into that about projective energy and receptive energy after I talk about hand gestures, so stay tuned for that. Now, our hands are set up as magical altars. We can grasp wands and athames and pinch out candle flames and, at the conclusion of magical rites and workings. But the lines on our own hands, can be trained to be used to link to the deep consciousness within ourselves, to reveal things that our conscious minds that we would not otherwise know. Like palm readers, they can read the lines of our hands, and palmists, they say that these are like the lines of like our roadmap of like our life, and that they are the key to our souls. And especially like a mandala revealing our innermost depths. You know, like gestures and rituals can easily become second nature. You just have to like kind of train yourself to get used to like muscle memory, you know. When invoking the god or goddess, the hands can be held uplifted with the fingers spread to receive their power. The elements can be invoked with individual gestures to honor each of the 4 directions, like earth, air, fire, water. I actually know a few of the different ways, so maybe I should make a separate video for that. Let me know how you guys feel. Comment down below. And gestures are also used in magic. Just each of the fingers relates to a specific planet and relates to a specific planet, and as well as like an ancient deity. So since pointing is a magical act and is part of many spells, the finger itself can be chosen by its own symbolism. So gestures are magical tools and can be as potent as any other, and ones we can always take with us and always to be used when needed. So let's see. I know that, the pinky is Mercury, the middle is Saturn, the ring finger is Apollo, index is Jupiter. I don't know if the thumb has anything. Feel free to look this up, but I also want to talk about, you know, other ways to utilize your hands, which is, like I said, about projective energy and receptive energy. So first, I'm going to start off with what is the difference. Now, for me giving you these examples, I am right-handed, which means that my right hand is my dominant hand, but it's also my projective hand, which means energy comes out of this hand. And my left hand, it not being my dominant hand, is my receptive hand, which means I pull in energy into this hand. So now what that looks like is, let's get back in my little chair. What that looks like is, if I'm doing energy work, these is basic energy work terms. When you are using your receptive hand, you are simply receiving energy from within your hand. Now, when I am done pulling the energy from within, I pull it into my heart, and then I project it outward through this hand. Now, you can use the same mechanism for anything you're doing to raise energy for spells and whatnot. Like when you're meditating or praying, it's best to definitely have your receptive hand up so you may receive intuitive messages and blessings and whatnot. So when I'm meditating and praying, I like to have this hand upward, my receptive hand, which is my left hand because I'm right-handed. And then that I keep this hand out for when the energy, I cycle it through and I may project energy out, which is useful for when I'm trying to charge items or bless them and whatnot, you know. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to add to this video, because like I said, you don't need tools. They do help you and it's great, but not having access to tools should not hinder you. So I mentioned, you know, about hand gestures and visualization, projective receptive energy, dancing to raise energy. I briefly said it, but chanting is, of course, another way to not just, you know, be an invocation for your spell or rite. It's also a way to raise energy. And yeah, to raise energy. So for me, I have my own chanting I do for when I charge myself within the sun. So I'll be outside. It's a little ritual I do. I simply stand underneath the sun. I'm looking up at the sun, but I may close my eyes so I may focus on the heat. I keep both of my hands sort of up so I may receive the energy pulling down. Even my projective hand I do. And I say, energy above me, charge my skin, energize me from within. Energy above me, no, sun above me, charge my skin, energize me from within. That's it. Sun above me, charge my skin, energize me from within. Sun above me, charge my skin, energize me from within. And I just say it over and over and over again. And once I start chanting, I'm raising my energy and amplifying my intent. I'm feeling this energy coming drawn into me, and I'm starting to feel my palms warm up, and then I'm, you know, so it's just, that's one of my personal hacks. I like to simply, it's sort of like drawing down the moon, but it's with the sun, and it can be done like, you know, during prime time, like noon. And I like to charge my skin and do that little chanting for when I'm trying to charge myself, but in a way that I just don't have tools, so I like to use the sun. So, like I said, if you don't have any tools besides the methods that I've mentioned, don't forget that you can, you know, use what you have around you locally. Pay attention and use, you know, take advantage of the time of the day or time of the month or time of the week or day of the week, you know. Also pay attention to, you know, what if you are in a parking lot? Well, I guarantee you some of that piece of rock from what's it called? The parking lot, most of the time has quartz in it. What is quartz? It's an amplifier. Use that for your spell rites. Maybe you find an oak leaf. Use that for a symbol of protection or strength or courage. Like, there's so many ways that you can utilize the craft without tools. It's not necessary. So I hope you guys like this video. If you have any other methods or have any comments or thoughts or concerns about this, then, you know, feel free to comment below. We can have like a dialogue and whatnot. So thank you guys for watching, and blessed be.